Hello everyone. Myself Mrs. Anagha Singh. I am HOD of Mechanical Engineering Department at Pravin Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology. My subject is Industrial Engineering and Quality Control with subject code 22567. So, our second chapter is Process Engineering. Now let us see the learning outcomes of this chapter. Students should able to apply principles of supply chain management in the given industrial or domestic application. Means after studying this chapter, students should able to apply the principles of supply chain management in the given industrial applications. Then students should able to plan appropriate manufacturing processes for manufacturing the given sample of job or component. Students should able to sketch precedent diagram for the given simple manufacturing task using line balancing concept. Students should able to apply CPM for the given project of specified industry. Also, the student should able to prepare the detailed sequence of operations for manufacturing the given component. Now, let us get introduced with the production. So, introduction to the production. When seeds are sowed in a soil, grains are produced. When mastic is rubbed on the matchbox, fire is produced. Similarly, when various parts are shaped in manufacturing firm, a finished product is obtained or produced. So, when some raw things or raw materials are processed, we obtain finished goods. Conversion of raw material into a finished good with the use of some operations is defined as production. Production is defined as the step by step conversion of one form of material into another form through some process to create or enhance the utility of the product to the user. You can say production is an art of producing something like machines, components, or any other useful products. It is the process through which goods or services are created by performing a set of operation on raw material. Thus, production is a value addition process. At each stage of processing, there will be a value addition. Also, you can say it is an art of producing something like machines, components, or any other useful products. Thus, production is a value addition process. Edward Buffa defines production as a process by which goods and services are created. A system is a group of several units joined together to achieve a common goal, that is, product or services. Every system has three common elements and they are input, processing, and output. Examples: the engineering educational system in which students are input, teaching is processing, and output is the qualified engineer. Second, players in the cricket team are the input, their play for the nation is processing, and winning is the output. In manufacturing system, the raw material is input, various operations on the parts is processing, and the finished product is output. In the film industry, the actors are input, their performance is processing, and the movie is output. In all the above examples, the end result, that is output, is either product or service. Therefore, every industry can be considered as a production system. The input to a system can be a form of 4 M's, that is man, material, money, and machines. The input are processes by a series of operations in a predetermined sequence. The operations may vary from only 1 to any number and impart the desired characteristics to the input. The output by a system is either finished goods or services. There are two types of production systems: open loop production system, closed loop production system. In open loop production system, input, processing and output. The above system has no relation between the requirements of the customer, that is output, and input. So it is called as open loop system. In order to withstand the growing competition in the market, the feedback element is added in the above diagram. In order to withstand the growing competition in the market, the feedback element is added in this diagram. It compares the requirements of the customers B with the output provided and performs the necessary changes in the processing to give a better product or service. A closed loop production system is presented by a figure below. It consists of input, processing, output and feedback element. Now factors of production. What are the factors of production? Now there are four main factors: land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. Now let us see the factors of production in detail. Anything that helps in production is the factor of production. These are the various factors by means of which any resource is transformed into more useful commodity or service. These are the inputs for the process of production. These are the starting point of the production process. Factors of production are the parameters which affect the output of production. Whatever is used in producing a commodity is called its input. For example, for producing wheat, farmer uses input like soil, tractor, tools, seeds, manure, water, his own services. All the inputs are classified into two groups: primary inputs and secondary inputs. Primary inputs render services only, whereas secondary inputs get merged in the commodity for which they are used. In the above example, soil, tractor, tools, farmers, services are primary inputs because they render services only, whereas seeds, manure, water, insecticides are secondary inputs because they get merged in the commodity for which they are used. These are the primary inputs which are called factors of production. Primary inputs are also called as factor inputs and secondary inputs are also known as non-factor inputs. Alternatively, production is undertaken with the help of resources which can be categorized into natural resources, land, human resources, labor and entrepreneur, and manufactured resources, capital. The various factors of production are. Now let us see these factors in detail. Land. It refers to all natural resources used to produce goods and services. This includes not just a land but anything that comes from the land. Land therefore includes all the gifts of nature available to mankind both on the surface and under the surface. For example, soil, rivers, waters, forests, mountains, mines, deserts, seas, climate, rains, air, sun, etc. These resources can be renewable, such as forest, or non-renewable, such as oil or natural gas. The income earned from the land or the other such natural resources is called rent. than labor. Human efforts done mentally or physically with the aim of earning income is known as a labor. Thus, labor is a physical or mental effort of human being in the process of production. The compensation given to the laborers in the return for their productive work is called wages. The quality of the labor depends on the worker's skills, education, and motivation. Generally speaking, the higher the quality of the labor, the more productive is the workforce. Capital. All man all man-made goods which are used for further production of the wealth, including capital. Thus, it is a man-made material source of production. Alternatively, all man-made aids to production which are not consumed for their own sake are termed as capital. Example: machines, tools, buildings, roads, bridges, raw materials, trucks, factories, etc. An increase in the capital of an economy means an increase in the productive capacity of the economy. Entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a person who organizes the other factors and undertakes the risks and uncertainties involved in the production. He hires the other three factors, brings them together, organizes and coordinates them so as to earn maximum profit. For example, Mr. X, who takes the risk of manufacturing television sets, will be called as entrepreneur. An entrepreneur acts as a boss and decides how the business shall run. He decides in what proportion factors should be combined, what and where he will produce, and by what method. Now, let us see supply chain management. What is supply chain? Supply chain management is the broad range of activities required to plan, control, and execute a product's flow from material to the production to the distribution in the most economical way possible. It encompasses of a network of interconnected business involved in the provision of product and services packages required by the end customer in the supply chain. It involves handling of all the movement and storage of raw materials, work in process inventory, and finished goods from the point of view of origin to point of consumption. SCM manages supply chain activities to maximum customer value and achieve a sustainable competitive advantage. It represents the conscious effort by the supply chain firm to develop and run the supply chain in the most effective and efficient way possible. Supply chain activities cover everything from the product development, sourcing, production, and logistics, as well as information system needed to coordinate the activities. To accomplish the task of SCM, a company will create a network of suppliers that produce that product along from the suppliers of raw materials to organizations who deals with the users. Supply chain management activities have the ability to ensure the customer satisfaction by making certain that the necessary products are available at the correct location at the correct time. By increasing the customer satisfaction level, enterprises are able to build and improve loyalty. Introduction to process engineering. Process engineering, also sometimes called as process planning, is a system or a process responsible for conversion of raw material into a finished product by the most economical way within the limits of design specifications. It can be defined as a systematic determination of the process by which product is to be manufactured economically and competitively. Process engineering is determining the most appropriate manufacturing process sequence in which they should be performed to produce a given part of the product specified by the design engineering. It is the function within a manufacturing facility that establishes the processes and process parameters to be used to convert the part of the final form. It is an intermediate stage between the design and manufacturing of the product. The process planning consists of activities like determining the sequence of the operations to be performed, selecting the proper machines, specifying tools, jigs fixtures, specifying material to be used, giving the details like speed, feed, depth of cut, specifying the inspection stages. The process planning begins when the product designing is completed, but the basic processes such as casting or forging must be planned during the product design stage only. The inputs to the process planning are modified and final drawing or part prints. The process engineering is different from product engineering in the sense that the latter design product as per the customer requirement and the former tries to find the optimum way to manufacture the product. The entire process on the shop floor from the conversion of the production drawing into the actual product is responsible for the process engineering. Functions of process engineering. What are the functions of process engineering? To determine the basic manufacturing process, to determine the sequence of operations, to determine the equipments and tooling required, to originate the orders for the process revision if necessary. Information required for process engineering. Engineering drawing of the component, knowledge of manufacturing processes, knowledge of various tooling and fixtures, resources available in the factory, relative cost of various processes, tooling and raw materials, ability to do computations on machining time and cost, knowledge to use reference books such as machinability data handbook. Preliminary part print analysis. After the product is designed by the product designer and subsequent discussion with the process engineer, the actual idea is represented by the part drawing, blueprints or part prints. The process engineering must study the part print to understand the requirement in the final product to decide how to use the information in a part print analysis to get required product. A detailed study of part print drawing for the manufacturing of the part is called part print analysis. Here you can see a blueprint or a part print drawing. It consists of various dimensions of that product. It specifies center distance, module, number of starts, pitch of diameter. Okay, you can see there are some part on which thread is there, so everything is specified. Circular runout, what is the tolerance, on which surface the tolerance is provided, so everything you can see in this part print drawing. In a part print analysis, the process engineer seeks to determine following things: general description of the part, general configuration of the part, material from which part is made, basic manufacturing process and design modifications. General description of the part. The general description is learned from the title block on the print. As there is a limited space on the part print, the description is abbreviated. If there is any ambiguity in the understanding, the process engineer should consult the product designer for the clarification. Other information important to the general description is the part number and the number of sub-assembly or assembly of which it is a part. General configuration of the part. The part description is learned from the title block on the print. As there is a limited space on the part print, the description is abbreviated. General configuration of the part. Configuration of the part means the general size and shape of the part. To avoid misinterpreting the part size, the scale of the drawing should be observed. At as the workpiece has to move from operation to operation, the process engineer is concerned with its weight. A part that is complex in shape may require several types of jigs and fixtures to clamp the part and perform the operation. Tooling for small parts can be designed to be turned over or over about hand on a machine table. Tooling for the large parts is less mobile because of weight. The shape of the workpiece influence which of its surface must be machined first, and the method of location is necessary for maintaining the maximum dimensional control over its geometry. The size of workpiece influences its mobility and thus affects its rate of production. It also affects the number of operations which can be combined at one setting of the workpiece. The ease with which the workpiece can be handled probably has more influence on production rate than any other single factor. Material specification. In part prints, the information regarding the material from which the part is made is mentioned. Different materials present different manufacturing problems as well as different manufacturing cost. It is necessary to know the material of the workpiece in order to cope up with both of these important problems. The basic manufacturing process. The basic manufacturing process determines the subsequent operations to be performed. In some part print, only the material specification is presented and the process engineer is left to determine whether the piece will be cast, forged, or made from bar stock. But in most of the cases, the decision is not left to the process engineer but is either spelled out with the material specifications or in the general notes. Design modifications. The revisions in the drawing are often made at the request of process engineer. These revisions should be carefully studied as failure in checking the revision can cause costly manufacturing mistakes. The reason for revising the drawing may be to correct the errors, reduce the cost, improve manufacturing methods, improve the existing design, facilitate inspection, improve the quality, or many others. Any change in the design may affect the operational sequence, tooling, locating system, and overall manufacturing economy. Thank you.